G'day guys, welcome to another layout, another day. This one I decided to, this week I'm sort of doing a little bit of a throwback. So I'm going through my collection and here you can see me sort of drawing a few ideas. And I went back through and I've got a container and it's chock-a-block full of creative memory stuff. And when you don't use something for a while, then you realize how good a product it really is. Like, I was using these and it was just so easy. And I'm like, and it's weird because everything I use now is very cardstock, thick, heavy, dense. Whereas my CM stuff, these packs, guys, I can't tell you where they're from at all because of what the packs are called. I can tell you they're from Creative Memories, but I cannot tell you what they're called because they're so old. Anyone who sells Creative Memories, Jill, Bobby, let me know if this is still available. Can you just drop it in the comments below? And that way I can let people know if it's still available, if they're looking for it. I just sat down with this layout and it just fell together. It just come together. I know these blue stars don't go with the other papers. I know the other papers that I'm using, they were a 12 by 12 collection. I can't remember what they're called. I've been racking my brain for 2 days now because I did this layout yesterday. But it just come together so easily. And, you know, doesn't it make you happy when something just falls into place? That's what this layout did for me. Now, I am literally stash diving for the whole lot. I call my stash, call it my own collection. It's a collection of things I've put together myself. They're the things that I like, so I call it my collection. Now, with these, if you know anything about Creative Memories papers, you know that they're not very thick. So I am being super gentle with my edge distressor. And I was just doing that purely for a little bit of texture, but I was very gentle with how I did it. I did have to cut a little bit out there because I was on the phone I'm going down a rabbit hole here, having a squirrel whilst I'm using some liquid pearls through a stencil. Now, I got to tell you, I was on the phone for 2.5 hours waiting to speak to someone at Centrelink. Now, if you're an Aussie, you know right here, right now, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I know, I feel your pain, right? It's a situation where they've stuffed up, they've made the mistake, it's all on their end. We've got it in black and white that it's their mistake. And do you think I can find a single human being that can actually read the computer? They can read it. They can see that the document has been put in there twice. And they're telling me that, but they won't fix it. Oh, I tell you what, it was not a good day yesterday. So I was doing this layout, which just fell together, believe it or not, even though I was in a bit of a crabby mood because of that phone call. I'm just putting some texture paste. Now, I didn't clean off the liquid pearls, which is marigold. I didn't clean that off because I wanted it to sort of mix with the texture paste because I didn't really want it to be white, but I didn't want to actually colour it. So it actually worked a treat. Now, I'm going to say something controversial. I have had people tell me that you can put liquid pearls through a stencil and it works beautifully and you get a beautiful image. I call bollocks on that because I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to be the one to say it. It does not go through your stencil and it does not stay in a nice crisp like you can do with the texture paste, okay? It just doesn't. It's too liquidy. It just doesn't do that. What am I doing wrong? What have I got to mix it with? Somebody tell me, because I'm telling you now, you guys, if you've been here for 5 minutes, you know that I know my way around mixed media. I know my way around different techniques. You know that I play with anything and everything, right? But I gotta say, I will not be promoting liquid pearls to be something to put through a stencil. Some people can obviously get it to work, not me. And it doesn't matter that, and I even use this stencil. This is an All in Create stencil, number 126. I even use that stencil because it's got the teeny tiny little stars on it. And I thought the amount that's got to go through is minimal, so it's not a big mass. Still didn't work properly. And I'll show you in the photos. And in the close-ups at the end, you can see where it just... Sometimes, like when I'm doing a layout like this, if I'm using a stencil, I want the stencil shape to work. So where the texture paste has gone through and mixed with the liquid pearls, perfect, not a problem. And that was the Light and Fluffy TCW, which is the Crafters Workshop, TCW Light and Fluffy modeling paste. That, perfect, not a problem. Every single star is crisp, perfect. But the liquid pearls, nah, it wasn't. So if you're after a very fluid, not crisp image, and you're not concerned about how it looks at the very end, be my guest, give it a crack. But again, like I say, I could be doing something very wrong, but you know, should be right. So I use my Creative Memory star punches. What I do is I punch out the smaller one, then go on the outside, like over the top of it, and punch the slightly larger one to get those hollowed out stars. That's just something that CM punches, I love for that, because they are perfect and they fit perfectly. It's great. So I just wanted to, this is just star on top of star on top of star. That's what I'm doing on this layout, because the photos are another everyday photo. This was, I remember I was cleaning out the linen closet and Angela thought it would be hilarious to climb in the cupboard and go to sleep because it was nap time. And I said, no. So she's fighting me. She wanted to sleep in the cupboard. I swear, Harry Potter in the making. So, but obviously I didn't leave her in there. Now, all I'm doing here is I've used a little bit of Stormy Sky Distress Oxide ink. I've put it on there on my plastic, a little bit of liquid, and I've just run a line. So it's on a diagonal at the top and the bottom, just so it's not so white. I didn't want to go around and create another border. I'm trying to not do so much with the borders. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because my brain just can't cope with it. But, you know, I mean, we all have our thing that we like to do, and we all get into, and my thing is I love a border around my page. That's what I love. I never used to do it. Honestly, I never used to at all. Now, these are very old as well. These are Making Memory stickers. I was looking at my layout and I'm like, there's no shine. All these stars and I have no shine. I have the liquid pearls shine, but because the stars are so tiny, it's not really the shine I was after. So I'm like, right, I can use these stickers. So I decided that I was going to pull out some. First of all, I had to test and see if I could put these stickers, because they're so old. I don't even know if they even make these things. Is Making Memories still around? I have no idea. It's been so long since I've walked into a scrapbooking store. I do have one at Burpengary. I can't remember what it's called. But there's one at Burpengary that I know is like bricks and mortar. There was two amazing stores, and they both closed up shop. One was at Brendale and one was at North Lakes. And to be honest, the only other one I know that is local to me, don't mind me, I'm coming back. Your video has not paused. It's fine, I'm still here. So I was literally, I think I was looking, I had to check and see how to spell sleepy time. I thought to myself, is sleepy time one word or is it two words? Do you do that too? I do it all the time. It drives me crazy. So sleepy time, I just thought I'd get in and I'd double check it. So you know who you are. She always finds when I put a spelling mistake on there. And I do it. And you know what? Good, the bad, and the ugly, people. It goes on, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. And that's what I'm leaving my children. They can look back and go, oh wow, mum wasn't perfect. Because don't you do that? You think about when you're a child, you think that teachers, your parents, all the adults around you, you think they are the duck's nuts. You think they've got it all together and they know exactly what they're doing. They must be amazing spellers. They must be amazing at times tables. They have an awesome meal in front of me every night. They must be amazing. How do they do it all? And our dirty little secret is the fact that, mate, we fumble through it just like everybody else. Teachers are just people. Like that, they go home, they have a life outside of being a teacher. Their mums, their grandparents, their cousins, their uncles, their aunties, their church leaders. They're all those sort of things, as well as being a teacher. But I remember I used to hold all my teachers on a pedestal because they were just, and it wasn't until I got older that I realised, you know what, they're just people. But still to this day, if I see any of my old principals or anything like that, it's Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. I cannot look at one of my teachers and that I had, because my kids go to the same school that I used to go to. And so obviously there's some teachers that are still there that, like Mr. Boxall, I cannot believe he's still there and he still has a bum bag. For anybody watching this that may have come over that maybe went to school with me, yes, Mr. Boxall is still there and Mr. Boxall still wears a bum bag every single day. So we used to hang crap on him for that. But now I think about it and I'm like, the dude's a genius. He's got himself a handbag or a backpack without having to use his hands 24/7. How perfect is that? And yet as a kid, we used to hang crap on him all the time about it. Oh, it's funny. Now I'm letting you know the next video after this one is another long one. So, and it's long because I'm showing you and I'm trying to slow everything down for you so you can see exactly how I create it. So I hope you stick around for that one. That'll be up tomorrow. And I absolutely love, once I added this little bit of gold pen work, just a little bit of few lines here, few dots going around the stars. The stars really needed something. Because my scrapping's so different compared to what it used to be, I've got to add a bit of pen work to make it a bit more busy. So that's my layout, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you can put liquid pearls through a stencil and get it to work properly. You can see some of them are okay, but see, they're blotchy. They're not. And I had sprayed that stencil and stuck it down. So there was no way it had anything to do with the stencil moving. It's just, yeah. But hey, we live and we learn. I will do it and I will figure it out to save you spending and wasting your money on a product if that's your intended use for it. If that's, if you're buying it solely to put through stencils, I'm telling you, just put pause on it for a minute and let me work it out or I won't endorse it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.